The town of Farmingdale is under Zeds' attack. The VIP refugees finally arrive at town center, sparking a wave of recovery among heroes and units. Even those in the hospital recover. The Zeds still present a formidable threat in the forest. But now, with all units at full strength, we can certainly meet the challenge. But with a powerful Zeds mob at Lefty's Pass and low levels of supplies and ammo, the prospect of survival is slim. The fate of Farmingdale may be decided on the mountain track. National Guard arrives. And now we make a fate draw to see where the National Guard unit arrives. At the start space of the mountain track. The National Guard unit is a powerful unit, but to make gunfire attacks it uses 2 points of ammo. It can move 1 space in each 4R phase and 1 space per move action. And the National Guard starts in the mountain track's start space where Mr. Johnson has been enjoying the view of the game and doing not much else. You forgot what now takes effect, and all refugees must retreat 1 space. The ones at the mine now fall into the hands of the Zeds at Lefty's Pass and are devoured, and they don't survive, ending in the cemetery. The infection level increases by 2 this time to a dangerous 10. The situation on the mountain track is critical. If that Zeds mob occupies 2 more named spaces and spreads chaos, it'll be the end for the people of Farmingdale, who in addition to having to contend with the Zeds, also have to worry about a band of raiders coming their way. Mine explosion. There's no refugees to move, but the raiders will certainly. And they enter Beauville, and they'll fight it out with the Zeds there. The raiders have the advantage, and the losses are even, 2 hits per side. The raiders are reduced, and the Zeds retreat after suffering 2 hits. The infection level is now at 11. The Rangers, who are about to enter town center, now head back towards Lefty's Pass. No infection check, and no supplies are lost. But there's Zeds movement in the mountain, suburbs, and highway tracks. But first, at the Lucky Strike Mine An explosion takes place. El Toro Loco and the civilian unit is there, and they each suffer one hit, and they must retreat. And the explosion prevents any unit from entering the mind space during this turn. And now the Zeds start moving, starting with the mountain track. But the powerful Zeds mob finds itself unable to move because of the explosion. In the suburbs, the reduced brain super Zeds attack suburbia once again. Colonel Kingman, with his defensive perimeter ability, fails this time to stop them. And they fight the civilians. This time, the humans have a 2 times advantage. The Zeds suffer 3 hits, the civilians 1, and the brain-powered Super Zeds are no more. But this hand-to-hand combat increases the infection level to 12. 1 more, and we'll have another uncontrolled outbreak. The remaining Zeds unit advances into the suspension bridge, to the highway, and the advancing Zed unit there moves into downtown to fight it out with Deputy Schmidt. But Colonel Kingman uses his defensive perimeter ability to push the Zeds unit back. No hand-to-hand combat for now. The remaining Zeds on the highway advance, and we have a Zeds mob in front of downtown. To the action phase, and we have 2 event actions. And the first one is used by the National Guard to move 1 space closer to Lefty's pass to fight it out with that tough Zeds mob. But if they fight now, the infection level will increase to 13, so the Savior Corps uses its Med Station ability to heal a civilian unit and reduce the infection level by 1. Now the National Guard moves in to Lefty's pass. The odds are not good, so we play the Killdozer card, which gives us 2 column shifts to the right. And now we have the advantage. The die roll is a 10. The Zeds suffer all 3 hits. 1 unit is reduced, and the Zeds mob retreats towards the start space, and we're in control of Lefty's pass. The infection level, however, increases to 12. With Lefty's pass secured, we have to find a way to reinforce downtown. So we use our player action to move the Rangers there to help out Deputy Schmidt. Sheriff Hunt now uses his leadership ability to encourage some civilians to forage, but they fail in obtaining anything. The VIP refugees are finally equipped, and they become a civilians unit with a strength of 2, which appears now at town center. Deputy Schmidt uses his initiative to try to forage for food or ammo, but fails. The situation on the mountain track has improved with the liberation of Lefty's Pass by the National Guard, who restore order there. And now there are 3 chaos markers outside the board, but by restoring order, the infection level reaches 13, an uncontrolled outbreak, and this time it happens on the forest track. A Super Zed appears there. At the farm, a Zed Hemoth unit with a strength of 12 appears. They have no special ability, they are just brute force. And we hold this card, yeah, They fell for it this time. For later, it'll help us to cancel one Zed's move. The infection level now goes down by 8 to level 5. With the situation improving on the mountain track, finally, the Lucky Strike mine can be entered once again, where we can forage for some ammo. The Zeds in the forest are now our biggest threat. Suburbs, only one Zeds unit in front of us, but those raiders that are approaching downtown are not our friends. A hero arrives to the 4R phase, and the raiders will move. But they advance one space closer to the suspension bridge. The Rangers will stay put at downtown. To the infection phase. The level is 5. The die roll is 3. Another outbreak occurs. This time, the Zeds are placed in a track of our choice. So which track will it be? On the highway, there's a Zeds mob about to enter downtown. We don't want to reinforce them. And in the forest, 2 Zeds mobs approaching the mall district with the Zed He-Moths following behind. The recently liberated Lefty's Pass seems like the most obvious place. And the new Zeds unit, with a strength of 3, dares to attack the National Guard there, and we have overwhelming strength. The Zeds suffer 3 hits and are reduced, but inflict 1 hit on the National Guard. And the Zeds have to retreat 2 spaces back to the start space. The infection level now goes down to 2, but because of the hand-to-hand combat, it increases to level 3. Farmingdale's controller, Joel Stengel, discovers resources are missing for supplies and then ammo. We must roll. A 5, we lose 1 supply point, and it is now down to just 1. And we roll for missing ammo. The roll is a 2, and we lose 2 ammo points. And the ammo level is also now at 1. To the Eat phase, no more supplies are lost. To the Zeds phase, there's movement on the highway, suburbs, and forest tracks. The mob of Zeds on the highway falls upon downtown, and Colonel Kingman will try with his defensive perimeter to push them back once again. This time, he fails, and the Zeds will fight it out with the Rangers, but the Rangers have a 1 column shift to the right in hand-to-hand combat, so we have the advantage. And the result of the combat is that both sides suffer 2 hits and the Zeds must retreat. The Rangers are reduced, and the Zeds fall back. The infection level is now at 4. The Zed unit behind cannot advance. Now, in the suburbs, the lone Zeds unit at the bridge advances into suburbia. And Colonel Kingman will try to stop them with his defensive perimeter ability. The roll this time is a 5, and he succeeds. And the lone Zeds unit is pushed back to the suspension bridge. Now, the movement in the dreaded forest track. The advanced Zeds mob, which is not very strong, charges into the mall district. Colonel Kingman again is called to set up a defensive perimeter, but this time it fails to stop the Zeds. The Zeds will fight it out with the fire department auxiliaries that have a fire axe trained ability, giving them a column shift to the right. 3 hits are suffered by the Zeds, who have to retreat, and one of their units is reduced. Battered Zeds mob retreats. The infection level is increased now to 5. The more powerful Zeds mob behind cannot advance. Neither can the Zed He-Moths. So for now, we're safe. 2 event actions, but first, a new hero appears in the scene. Chosen randomly, who will that be? Major Enrico Hernandez. And Major Hernandez has certain abilities that will come in handy now that most of the action occurs in or around town center, and that is where he starts. Now we have 2 event actions. Running desperately low in ammo and supply points, our first action is used for Rusty Stop to forage. He has a special ability that adds 1 supply point to whatever he can obtain by foraging. Major Hernandez's ability, Keys to the City, adds a die roll modifier of 1 to the die roll. So Rusty Stop rolls a 4 modified to a 5, and he obtains 1 supply point plus the 1 that he always obtains through his ability. So now we have 3 supply points. Next, the Savior Corps uses its Field Med Station ability to heal the Rangers, who are flipped and still have 1 hit. Supplies go down to 5, and the infection level goes down to 4. This is our last event action to move the civilians unit into the Lucky Strike Mine, and our player action to have them forage for some ammo. The roll is a 5, and 1 ammo point is added, and the level is now 2. Now Deputy Schmidt, with his initiative, executes a gunfire attack on the Zeds mob and fails miserably in causing any hits. What a waste of ammo. The level goes down now to 1. Sheriff Hunt uses his leadership ability to encourage the auxiliaries to forage with the assistance of Major Hernandez's ability. We get a +1. A 3 increased to a 4. 1 supply point is added. The level is now 3. Supplies and ammo are dwindling. Zeds are knocking the door of the town in suburbia, as well as the mall district. And in downtown, the National Guard at Lefty's Pass, facing a tough Zeds mob, may have to stay there for the duration, and will not make it on time to fight the powerful Zeds mob and Zeds He-Moths approaching from the forest. Stay tuned for the next episode of Dawn of the Zeds, Apocalypse Level.